Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is June 20th, 2025, and the top cryptocurrency news is as follows. We'll start today's episode with Mr. Trump and his family seemingly gradually abandoning World Liberty Financial. What has actually happened is that there is a company called DT Marks DeFi, which has close ties to the Trump family and owns a large stake in World Liberty Financial. In December 2024, it owned 75%. In March, it owned 60%, and now it has sold 20% and has a 40% stake in World Liberty Financial. So, as you can see, Mr. Trump is starting to move away from his DeFi, but how is he going to make a profit from this, as we've seen in previous episodes of Crypto News? Moving on, we'll go to our companies and we'll go to Revolut, which, according to reports we have, without official statements, is also looking to issue its own stablecoin. At the moment, we don't have much information, but since we're talking about stablecoins again, we can't help but turn to Visa, which has partnered with Yellow Card to promote a stablecoin. Specifically, credit card giant Visa has partnered with Yellow Card Finance, an African payments provider that uses stablecoins to accelerate the adoption of digital dollars across the continent. The companies have signed an agreement to promote the use of stablecoins for cross-border payments with their product, which is expected to launch in 2026. So those are our stablecoins for today. Now, moving on to our exchanges, we go to Bitget, which has secured a license in Georgia as part of its expansion into Europe. So Bitget is also becoming more and more legal in Europe, and I see it more and more in the European markets, to be honest. From Bitget, it's time to go to a decentralized exchange, and we're going to go to 1inch, which has made a proposal to compensate its users. Specifically, the 1inch Foundation has submitted a proposal to the 1inch DAO to compensate users who were affected by a breach in October 2024. The proposal is for compensation of $768,000. This is the total amount that will be distributed. At this point, users who lost their money in this breach and want to receive compensation will need to complete a KYC in order to do so. We don't have any more information yet, as the proposal is still in the voting process. The voting will end on June 22nd, and so far it has 63% positive votes. Moving on to our coins, it's time to look at Cardano, which has made a very interesting collaboration in its ecosystem. Specifically, Ford Motor Company has partnered with Aegon to launch a proof of concept, which focuses on decentralized data storage, according to an announcement. Aegon is a project that sits within the Cardano blockchain and is like Cardano's Filecoin. You can store your data there. Let's say that since this announcement, our coin has gone up for a moment, as you can see. Let's say now, why would someone want to store their data on a blockchain project? Why not use Google, Amazon, and other similar companies? The main reason is that these companies have proven in practice that their centralized data storage model has failed. And the latest proof of its failure is a recent event where security researchers from Cyber News found a database online containing 16 billion login credentials. That is, passwords, emails, phone IDs, and many other personal data. This data relates to services like Facebook, Google, Telegram, GitHub, and other platforms. The researchers didn't discover that someone breached these companies yesterday. This data has been collected for years through our computers, through the emails we send to others, and from breaches that have occurred at these companies over time. As a result, all of this data is being shared on the dark web. As I said, their centralized data storage model has failed for years. For this reason, companies are slowly looking at how they can protect their data and their users through blockchain, which for now does not seem to have failed in this regard. Moving on now, we'll go to FET, where we learn that it wants to buy its own currency and plans to buy $50 million in FETI tokens. Because of this, its price has gone up a bit, and in the last part of our day, we'll be talking about quantum computers and how Bitcoin can be protected from them if needed. And one more thing on the table is a project, an innovative company that has already raised $6 million to be able to develop Project 11, which is focused solely on how to make Bitcoin resistant to quantum computers and able to protect itself from them if needed. On the other hand, we learned that IBM has announced a project that could accelerate the timeline for the world's first fault-tolerant quantum computer. That is, it will work properly and is scheduled to be released in 2029. At this point, a very big parenthesis, those who build quantum computers are not building them because they want to hack Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Quantum computers are very useful tools and are an evolution of the standard computers we have. They are useful for much more than just hacking a Bitcoin wallet. However, Bitcoin is a living organism and must be constantly protected from any theoretical threat, so such moves are very positive, as you can understand. And now it's time to go to our favorite cryptocurrency market, with Bitcoin just sitting at $104,000 waiting to see what happens in Asia. That wraps up the top news for crypto. Today is June 20th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.